Transport Union urges drivers to be vigilant amid coronavirus presence in the Gambia. Water shortage hits most parts of Greater Banjul area. South Sudan swears in new unity government executive officials. This and more coming on The World Today. Hello, it is 1705 GMT here in our studios in Banjul. You are watching The World Today News Bulletin on Africa TV, and I am Amadou Kante, and now the news in detail. President of the Gambia Transport Union has urged commercial drivers to be more vigilant and heed to the advice of health authorities after confirmation of the first case of coronavirus in the country. Omar Sise said the union has embarked on a sensitization to enlighten its stakeholders on measures to confront the situation, as its impact is beginning to hit the transport sector. Let's have more details of that in this report. Gambia Transport Union officials are busy on sensitizing members of the country's public transport sector on precautionary measures against the deadly coronavirus pandemic. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare on Tuesday announced the confirmation of the first case of coronavirus in the country, which was detected on a female Gambian who recently arrived in the country from the United Kingdom. Many countries, including the Gambia, are devising measures to contain the disease, which have now claimed thousands of lives and affected several other thousands in different countries around the world. Speaking on Africa TV's Good Morning Africa program on Thursday, President of the Gambia Transport Union, Omar Sise, said the country's transport sector has begun to feel the impact of COVID-19, considering the closure of schools and many people now starting to stay indoors. He said the health and welfare of people is more important, saying there should be solidarity in such a critical situation.
Always talibi muy free kon dina affection économique bi bal man belé yi lolu is not bad moy né économique su wañi ko ba nga wër bi ram mo gën ko ñu ba de ragal because so né moytu public gathering auto public gathering so deug ku melni man su fek amna benen moyen ma dem bañay xey tok suma kër japp suma ñambor moma gënal amna ku melni keneen ko mënu ko xagna koku et su xewu rek du mëna am lu muy lek but not drive understand né ñu ci venir funny situation na ñëpp japp ci du ko bay ci loxo nguur du ko bay ci loxo health du ko xeba ñun ñëpp na ci japp.
Mr. Sise also urged drivers to be cautious in their dealings with passengers by advising them to wash their hands before boarding any vehicle.
Waaw comme li nga ko waxee jamono bi ñëpp xam na lu xew muy coronavirus ku nekk am na opportunity pour play a role mooy ne li nga amee li nga moom ngay maye li nga moom ngay jël ngay saraxee kon lu ñoo digal driver lu ñu wala lu la wax ci standardisation bi naka la war a def jafewut nañ ut benn bidon ndox benn bidon omo xam nga driver kuy dugg ci oto bi na nga ko jëm raas la bem set ñu jox ko tissue paper du pour moom pour su bukkee tisoli moom la jox ci ñëm mënu am mouchoir ni ñëm mënu def nii xam nga kon am na ñoo xam ne dañoo bëgg a tisoli ci kaw nit ñi parce que su ko yaa ko nandal loolu.
Transportation contributes significantly to the socio-economic development of any country, and with the impact of COVID-19, the movement of goods and services may be affected to the detriment of the people. Reporting for Africa News, I am Amadou Kante. And from that report on, of course, the transport and coronavirus in the Gambia, next we head to South Sudan, where a total of 50 executive officials of South Sudan's unity government, comprising 35 cabinet ministers, 10 deputy ministers, and 5 vice presidents, have been sworn in. It hopes that the formation of the new unity government, residing from the 2018 peace deal, will end the 6 years of civil war in the youngest African nation. Let's have more details of that in this report.
A cabinet comprising of 35 ministers, 10 deputy ministers and 5 vice presidents is now sworn in. It is hoped the formation of a new unity government resulting from a 2018 peace deal will end 6 years of civil war in South Sudan.
South Sudanese are very dynamic people. They can change very fast. But it needs our collective political will. Let us have politicians. One people, one country.
The civil war displaced more than 4 million South Sudanese people. Livelihoods are destroyed, and the new government is expected to prioritize peace building and reconstruction of destroyed infrastructure.
I am very happy. There are no more sounds of gunshots. Things are getting better, but the government should do more, because in this country, things can change rapidly. We can have war out of something small.
The situation in the country is changing. I am seeing many good things now. The government officials are speaking with one voice, despite the fact that they are from different factions.
The parties to the peace deal are still working to establish a parliament. The peace agreement dictates that the National Assembly should be made up of 550 members. State governors are also yet to be appointed. The United Nations is calling on the new executive to speed up the process so that peace and order is restored across the country as soon as possible.
After the formation of a new government in South Sudan, we hope that will bring a lasting peace in the country. And from that report, we come back home, because since the Minister of Health declared the first case of coronavirus in the country on Tuesday, Gambians have been raising concern on the country's state of preparedness to contain the spreading deadly coronavirus pandemic. Following the confirmation of several cases in neighboring Senegal, many have been calling on the government to close all entry points, including borders, and suspend flight from all countries highly hit by the disease. But the government have opted to rely on other measures than closing the borders. iAfrica TV spoke to people on the street to gauge their opinions on the current situation. Here is what they had to say.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Gannaaw bu nga xamee ni feebar bi xew na kenn réeral mbir ne am na ci àddina bi yow su fekkoon da nga doon xelal nit ñi rawatina Gambien si lan nga leen di wax.
waaw lu ma leen di wax rek mooy fi mën a nekk daal nañ taxoo set waaw di raxas seen loxo yi ba pare tam di moytu yenn ndaje yu bëri yi comme ni ko président bi digle nga gis ne loolu bi ñu ko defee rek suñu jàmm la ñun ñëpp jàmmi réew mi la tam feer boo xamante ni la dëgg la jaaxal nañu bëri waaye nag jaaxalul yàlla waaw su ko defee rek ñu bokk tam ñaan tuub ñu delloo suñu xel yi ak suñu xol yëpp si yàlla ku nekk rek xelaat li nga doon def muy bàkkaar nga wàññi ko wala nga bàyyi su ko defee amaana yàlla mën nañu yërëm dimbale ñu lii yàlla génne ko ci réew bi génne ko ci àdduna bi yëpp.
Well, all I have to say is that people should be careful from the virus, you know. And again, normally it has happened. I believe it must affect people. It must affect people that are the business people. Person like me today, I went to the market to do a lot of shoppings because we don't know what may happen tomorrow. So this is all I have to say. Let people just be careful from everything. Then make sure you wash your hand normally, regularly as you can. You can see I have my bucket here. I wash my hand regularly. So that's just all I have to say.
No, some more advisement na kay from portrait sasa nyen. Walang pulkan nos ko wadu ani ka bulu ko nyen sian. Anda sasa nyen sign dang ala ko sembol warakan. Sembol yamar no damal.
Gambians, they are reacting on the current situation of the coronavirus in the country, and with that, we will now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of the story. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. You are watching The World Today on Africa TV, and now to the rest of the stories. Now, Ghana's government has suspended all teachings and learning activities, including the campus of the country's main university, as measures to contain the spread of coronavirus. The decision came after one of the students of the University of Ghana was tested positive of the global health-threatening disease that has been declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization. Let's have more details of that in this report.
A partial lockdown of the University of Ghana campus, lecture rooms closed, all teaching and learning activities suspended. That's the response by authorities after one of the students in this university tested positive for the coronavirus.
Halting of our education and everything is good for us at the moment because we don't know how it's going to spread because the disease is very dangerous.
Health authorities say all of the cases confirmed so far in Ghana were imported. The university student who tested positive reportedly traveled to the US and returned with the disease. University authorities say they are tracing people the students who tested positive may have come into contact with. They have also urged students not to leave the campus. But some students are already packing out. Others say they don't see the need for restrictions.
The fact that we are having this pandemic effect, or the fact that we are having these things going around, shouldn't restrict academic stuff.
Ghana is revising its response to the coronavirus outbreak, moving beyond just screening and surveillance at entry points. The government says it is restricting people from countries that have recorded more than 200 cases of COVID-19 from coming into Ghana. All schools in the country have shut down indefinitely. They are working to activate online platforms so students can work from outside the classroom. And for those who remain on the university campus, the lesson of the day: to continue taking precautionary measures, including using hand sanitizers, to help keep the coronavirus at bay.
From that report there in the West African state of Ghana, we come back home and talk about the shortage of what matters, because residents in Pipeline have complained of experiencing acute water shortage for a week, which they say is making observance of the health advice for frequent hand washing difficult in the wake of COVID-19 outbreak. Some of the residents who spoke to Africa TV said for 1 week they have not been receiving even a drop of water from their taps. Let's have more details of that.
As several communities within Serekunda and its catchment areas continue to complain of water shortage this week, some residents in Pipeline said they are the most hard hit, with no single drop of water coming from their taps. The country's water and electric powerhouse, NAWEC, did not yet make any official announcement on the reason since the shortage hits the areas. On March 15th, it wrote on Facebook page informing the public that its borehole BH16 and BH6 were isolated to enable repair work on a burst pipe on a borehole line connecting to Fajara water treatment plant, which is said to be expected to last for only 3 hours, and it will affect Bakau, K Point, Fajara M, F and Gulf Coast section. Alaji Kante, a resident of Pipeline, told iAfrica on Thursday that the neighborhood has been seriously facing the water challenge for a long time.
The shortage of water is always, since I live here, this is what the neighborhood, not only me, but the neighborhood is going through. Previously, sometimes last year, we have to wake up around 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the middle of the night to get water. And a bottle of a bucket, it takes about 10 minutes before it filled up, because the water comes in a drop style, you know. So this is what we're going through since last year.
Mr. Kante said it is difficult in their access to water has become severe this year than last year, saying they have been suffering from water shortage for more than 1 week now. On March 16th, NAWEC posted another follow-up announcement on its Facebook page, informing the public that normal services have been restored at Fajara treatment plant. BH16 and BH6 are back in operations, but yet more residents in the affected areas continue to complain for having no access to water from their taps. Another resident of the area said the situation is not favorable at all, especially at this time of coronavirus outbreak, which health officials have advised for regular hand washing.
No problem dal mom dal fimne ni ñun mom mo ñu sonal dal dañ wax ne febar bi dafa wara and raxasu fo munti tol yaangi raxas way amuñ ndox pipeline bi dé am ndox.
A third resident also expressed fear of their safety from the possible infection of the coronavirus as they continue to face challenges of water shortage.
Yaaga na de am na at yu bari bari ci gannaaw waaye daaw jéeg nag ak daaw nag dafa gën a garaaw ñun dañ dee enu di dem ci mbedda bi di dem rooti ji te loolu dafa metti man ombu metti laa amee léegi duma enoo dama dee soona duma dee mun a dox bu baax sax.
When contacted, NAWEC spokesperson Per Silva said there was a major burst pipe around Laturia that supply water to Sukuta water treatment plant, which led to the 13 boreholes going down. He said repairs have already been done. Mr. Silva said repairs does not solve the water problem, saying that NAWEC is supplied in the Greater Banjul area is not enough for the population. The Gambia's Water Supply Authority has been facing several power outages, which many of its power generators, which operate on heavy fuel, has been in existence since the Gambia's first republic. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Aissatou Tamba.
And from the report on the shortage of water and of course the Greater Banjul area, to be specific in pipeline, of course we would finally end this news with another development in Ethiopia, where the country's government said it is now ready to renegotiate its dispute with Egypt over the Grand Ethiopian Resonance Dam on the river Blue Nile in February. Ethiopia temporarily suspended its participation in the US-mediated negotiation over the filling and the operation of the dam, requesting more time to deliberate on the draft agreement. The longest river in the world stretches across 11 countries in its journey to 4,000 miles from the equatorial rivers and that fate Lake Victoria to its final destination in the Mediterranean Sea. Let's have more details of that in this report.
It's been weeks since the tripartite negotiations on the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam stalled due to a disagreement between Ethiopia and Egypt. Ethiopia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geddu Andargacho, says his country has conditions in order for the situation to return to normalcy.
The solution for the disagreement is again negotiation. We demand serious and fair talks to take place for us to return to the table once again. The only choice we have is to agree on this. For this, a strong political will from the Egypt side is needed.
The minister has emphasized the waters of the Nile belong to all of the Nile Basin nations, regardless of who contributes how much of the water.
Though the source of most of the Nile water can be located in Ethiopia, and even if more than 85% of the water is contributed by Ethiopia, Ethiopia not even a single day said I have to benefit from this water alone. The waters of the Nile belongs to Ethiopians, Sudanese, Egyptians, and people of other Nile Basin countries. We give full recognition for the right of the lower basin nations to use the water, and we properly understand our right of using the Nile responsibly.
When explaining the importance of the GERD, Geddu said the project holds the key for Ethiopia to free itself from the bonds of poverty.
In Ethiopia, more than 65 million citizens live without electricity in this 21st century. Secondly, the investors we have invited to the country to help us defeat poverty are suffering from insufficient power supply, preventing their industries from bearing fruit. Hundreds of factories are affected due to this. Every year, hundreds of thousands of Ethiopians graduate from high schools and universities. It's mandatory to create jobs for these young people. The key for all these problems is found in the completion of the Renaissance Dam project.
Ethiopia's Foreign Affairs Minister also has sent out a strong message for the Arab League.
The Arab League had a chance to use this situation to strengthen ties between the Horn and the Middle East. I believe it still has that opportunity at its hand, and we believe the Arab League can still positively impact the difference between Ethiopia and Egypt. The Arab League should have a role to promote solidarity among countries of the Eastern Africa region and the Middle East based on mutual cooperation. But having said this, the League's intervention and promotion of conflict on the matter that is not even concluded yet between three countries is unacceptable.
For now, and despite the United States' interest for Ethiopia to avoid any moves regarding the filling of the dam, Addis Ababa is determined to follow the normal schedule at hand and begin filling the dam in July. Ethiopia believes if not fair negotiations, nothing can and will stop the successful completion of its mega hydropower generating dam.
And from that report there in Ethiopia, we finally bring this news bulletin to an end. But for more on this and other stories, you can also log on our website on iafrica.tv. Many thanks for the pleasure of your company. Bye for now.
Hey there! You must have heard about a new viral disease called COVID-19, or most popularly, coronavirus. The World Health Organization has declared the coronavirus outbreak a pandemic. Here are some myths and facts about the coronavirus COVID-19.
Wow! Diga getting the coronavirus is a death sentence.
No, Lord Digger. According to a study by the Chinese Center for Disease Control on February 18, the virus has only killed about 2.3% of the people who have contracted it.
Kids can catch it.
I'm afraid that's not true as well. Bro, hale, munna ko am?
Boy, they got the swami COVID-19. You will know.
No. How would you know, my friend? COVID-19 causes a wide range of symptoms, which might resemble those of other respiratory illnesses. Plus, it takes about 14 days before the symptoms start showing, so it would be very hard to know if you had it.
Because I heard garlic can prevent it.
Garlic is good for you, but whether it prevents the disease or not hasn't been confirmed yet.
Bro, hey, must be munula prevent from having the disease, okay? Bulna sabova. But with that said, the mask should be worn by infected people so it can cover their coughs and sneezes. It can also be worn by people taking care of and coming in close proximity with someone who's infected.
We are safe in the Gambia because he can kill the virus. They can be more the fatanga.
Sister, uyuma, ken hamangun ndax tangay bi dina rey virus bi wala dedet. Right now it's too early to tell if the heat kills it because studies are just on the way. Lidar lañ aar suñ boba rek.
To keep the body in good health is a duty, and as Gambians, we know a healthy life is important to us as a country. Let us keep it that way. Please share this message with your friends and loved ones. May God continue to bless us.
Do not be scared. Just take care.
This message was brought to you by Spike Media and XT Expression.
nag dama kontaan bu baax sax si ñëw bi nga ñëw seet si suma tabax gi kontaan naa ci trop trop.
maa gën a kontaan bi ma ñëwee fekk sa tabax bi toll fii waaye nag man kontaanuma ci sama kër gi man.
lu xew.
ndax umpalewul woon ne ñoo bokkoon nekk Europe.
dëgg la
jamono yu ñu nekkee foofu yëpp man ak yow maa ngi am benn waay maa ngi ko yónnee xaalis bu bari pour mu sampal ma suma kër. te ba léegi tabax bi àggul fenn. te yow nga waxoon ma ne ma bi nga starté samp yàggul léegi nga toll fii foo jaar.
li waral loolu nag mooy dama ànd ak waa Baluwo.
kon su ma la déggee Baluwo dañuy yëngu ci samp kër tamit.
ni ngay def nag yomb na da ngay log on to www.baluwo.com mun ngaa jënd ci ñoom ciment suuf banta weñ ba ci daaj yi nga xam ne di nga ko soxla